Straight ahead on CCX News, a robbery case that quickly led to a reward offering. Why this robbery has Brooklyn Center police very concerned. Plus, uniting with Orange, a local school's story behind the color. And a special upcoming concert featuring world-class musicians. CCX News starts right now.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. The Brooklyn Center Police Department is now offering a $1,000 reward to help solve a brazen robbery that happened during the middle of the day in Brooklyn Center. Reporter Sonia Goins has more.
Shannon, police are calling this a very violent crime, and they're making it a priority to find the man responsible for assaulting a woman in broad daylight. On Monday, a woman was walking home with her 3 young children along 54th Avenue North in Humboldt around 1:30 p.m. when she was approached by a man who demanded her purse.
The victim then began to struggle with the suspect, and ultimately the suspect was able to get the purse from the victim and knocked her to the ground. Officials say at one point the man fired at least 1 gunshot before getting in his vehicle and driving away. We did recover 1 spent shell casing at the scene of where this happened. Police are still trying to determine if the victim was actually struck by gunfire or was hurt while struggling with the man. The victim was also able to walk 3 blocks to her home and call for help. When our officers got there, we went inside and found the victim in her kitchen of her house. She had a head injury. She was conscious and able to talk to officers. Meanwhile, police are calling this a rare event. There's usually a prior connection or acquaintanceship between the victims and suspects. And at this point in our investigation, we have not been able to determine any prior connection between these two. There have been no arrests in this case, but the suspect is described as a black man in his 20s to 30s with a skinny build. They said he was wearing a black hooded sweatshirt. If you have any information, give them a call. In Brooklyn Center, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
All right, thank you, Sonia. Now to an ongoing issue near Wayzata High School. What to do about a high number of accidents by the school, some of them causing injuries. Wayzata school officials plan to meet with city police and public works officials on Monday about the alarming number of accidents near the intersection of Peony Lane and Schmidt Lake Road. There have been 5 over a 6-week period, including 2 cases where student cross-country runners were struck by vehicles. One of them was severe enough that the runner had to be airlifted to the hospital. That student has since returned to school. The school has implemented changes on where students can run near the school. Plymouth police say they are looking at all options. Meanwhile, Brooklyn Center officials are reminding residents about upcoming parking changes during snowfalls this winter. Under new rules approved last month, no one can park on Brooklyn Center city streets after a snowfall of 2.5 inches or more. That's until the street has been plowed curb to curb. City public works crews are putting up signs over the next week to alert the public.
Typically what we strive for on a normal snowfall is to get everything cleaned up within 8 hours. Some streets will be done within a half an hour. Some of the streets at the end will be done, hopefully within those 8 hours.
Enforcement could include a citation and your vehicle getting towed. Now, if your vehicle does get towed, police say report to the police department's main lobby to find out where it went. Brooklyn Center does not have an impound lot in the city and relies on 4 towing companies that will haul it to lots outside of the city. Plymouth Police and Fire get all sorts of calls. One of them helped a deer get out of deep water. Take a look at this. Here's a young buck who found himself stuck in an 8-foot deep landscaping pond. Plymouth Police and Fire were called to get him out Tuesday morning. Responders believe the deer was likely trapped overnight. To get him out, rescuers used what's called a mega mover, basically a large tarp that they could position under the deer to lift the animal out. After warming the deer up, the young buck was released back to the woods, so it looks like he was okay. Orange was a popular color at some local elementary schools today. It had nothing to do with fall or Halloween. Students at Champlin Brooklyn Park Academy were dressed in orange in honor of Unity Day. It's part of a national movement aimed at bullying prevention. The idea is that by wearing orange, you not only condemn bullying, but you also stand for kindness and inclusion.
I think it's really cool. This day is really cool because it's a special day that everybody is kind to everybody else, and our school is really showing all that.
The school also had orange posters hanging outside classroom doors where students and staff could write notes about what kindness means to them. Elim Lutheran Church in Robbinsdale is preparing for a special concert coming up in November. They will host 2 world-class musicians in an organ and trumpet concert that is free to the community.
We are a traditional church, traditional liturgical service.
The sound of the organ at Elim Lutheran Church in Robbinsdale is majestic.
And the organ is an integral part of that experience.
Members might hear the music every Sunday, but they don't take it for granted.
So it's a 37 rank, which means there's like 2,500 pipes up in there.
Come November, the public is invited to hear just what this instrument can do.
There's not many churches on the north side that do this sort of thing.
A free concert featuring world-class musicians.
I think it's important to ingratiate everybody. You know, I'll play as well here as I would in Notre Dame or St. Paul Cathedral. I'm playing a concert at St. Mark's Cathedral in January, and it's no more, no less important than this concert.
Stephen Hamilton just returned from performing a concert in France. He stopped by the church this week to practice and to get familiar with the organ.
Every pipe organ is completely different.
So he arranges the music based on the instrument and the church. A trumpet is the perfect accompaniment to the organ.
At this time to have Chuck Glazis, who's the Associate Principal Conductor of Minnesota Orchestra, join us to play some Baroque tunes by Murray. You probably know the famous Symphony de Fanfare from, you know,
You can tell there's a passion here for the music.
I love doing this, you know.
And for sharing it with others.
Because we want the people in this community to have this experience.
And save the date for the concert. It's on Sunday, November 11th at 3 p.m. at Elim Lutheran Church in Robbinsdale. The concert is free to attend, and you'll find more information on the church's website. Still ahead, a Brooklyn Center High School student who knows a thing or two about hard work. Plus, the state girls soccer tournament is underway. We'll show you how Wayzata and Maple Grove fared in their games. But first, after a dry spell, a rainy end to the week. Showers start up again on Thursday. For many people, October is a time for fall cleaning. A Robbinsdale business wants you to clean out and bring in your unused beauty products. Salon Halo on West Broadway is asking for your donations of new hair care, hygiene, and makeup items that you might have used once, twice, or not at all. If you didn't like it, chances are someone else will.
So a lot of us ladies get cosmetics, and it comes with all these fun little goodies. Bring those in too. What do you get for that? $5 in Halo bucks. So this is a voucher that you can use on your next appointment for any of our products that we have, including makeup and hair care.
Salon Halo will donate the products to Haven House of Minneapolis, which provides women in crisis or transition with a stable setting and a chance to explore future options. You can drop off the items to the salon anytime this month if you'd like to help out. This week's Standout student excels in school despite an incredibly busy schedule. Here's Eric Nelson with today's Standout student.
If I was a CEO, I'd search her out just because she's just a charming young lady and very personable with all kind of people.
Ashley, what's the one thing that you learned and one thing that you would change?
Ashley Seha is a shining light at Brooklyn Center and is also someone other students look up to.
And I want to be that person that if a middle schooler needs help, I'm there for them. So basically I want to be a role model.
The seniors' future goals include going to college to major in biochemistry. Someday, she wants to be a neurosurgeon.
I see myself more working with cells and really picking at what it is. How is cells come to life? How is it produced?
She's honorable and has great character, very personable and very outgoing.
Ashley is a motivated person.
She has tenacity and integrity in everything that she does.
Who has jam-packed days. Besides class, she has a paid internship at Caribou Coffee in Brooklyn Center, which is part of Brooklyn Center High's Genesis program. She is also a crew trainer at McDonald's in Brooklyn Park.
I go to Genesis Works. From Genesis Works, I go to my job. So I'm learning how to juggle all those things.
The Genesis program has given Ashley a jump start. on making the transition from high school to college and eventually into the work world.
It's been keeping me on track with my college careers and just having college applications and the resumes, the letter of recommendations.
I feel sorry for who doesn't get her as an employer.
In Brooklyn Center, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
Still ahead, why some people ended up with free bouquets of flowers on Wednesday. But first, the prep football playoffs begin, including a good battle between Benilde-St. Margaret and Holy Angels. John Jacobson has the highlights up next.
The state girls soccer tournament got started Tuesday evening. Wayzata opened play in the Class AA quarterfinals against Blaine. Pretty even throughout the first half, but Wayzata dominates the second. Lily Gilbert's in a great pass to Samantha Dietrich. She finishes with a low shot. And into goal, Wayzata on the board. Short time later, Gilbertson serves up the corner kick, and Ava Brewer gets up for the header goal and a 3-0 Trojans lead. Wayzata senior Gilbertson hasn't scored as much this season after moving to midfield, but she gets a big goal here, a laser shot in. The Trojans advance with a 4-1 win. They play Stillwater in the semifinals next Tuesday at US Bank Stadium. Maple Grove's girls made the state tournament for a second straight season. The Crimson were the 4th seed in the Class AA tournament, and they met 5th seed Minnetonka in the quarterfinals Tuesday at Prior Lake High School. 9 minutes into the match, Tonka's Jess Collage crosses the ball. The Riley Bracken in front for the header goal. The senior gives the Skippers a 1-0 lead. Minnetonka dominates play in the first half, and for much of the second half, Crimson defender Jordan Pauly a big stop on that shot to keep it 1-0. With just 12 minutes to play in the second half, Maple Grove's Kelly Collins gets past the defenders, shoots and scores. That ties it at 1. That's the way it stays. Late in the first overtime, Maple Grove nearly wins it, but Mannon McMahon is robbed of a goal by Minnetonka keeper Paige Kallmeyer. This match eventually goes to a shootout. And in the shootout, Hannah Zahn, one of the shooters from Maple Grove, was able to connect. The first 9 players all score between the two teams. Then McMahon stopped by Kallmeyer. That ends the match. Minnetonka wins the shootout 5-4. They advance to the state AA semifinals next Tuesday against top seed Egan. While most local football teams don't start playoff competition until Friday or in some cases Saturday, a handful of teams did kick off the postseason Tuesday night. Benilde-St. Margaret's taking on Holy Angels in a matchup of the last 2 state Class 4A champions. It's a good defensive battle. Holy Angels Rook Rowe nowhere to go. He's swarmed by the Red Knights defense. Second quarter, Stars kicker Aaron Sanchez knocks it through the uprights for a 21-yard field goal to break a scoreless tie. Benilde responds. Louis Hyde connects for a field goal of his own. This close battle tied 3-3 through the first half. After a Benilde stop, they fumbled away and the Stars capitalize. Rowe hits Mitch Hendrickson with a touchdown. It's 10-3 Holy Angels. The BSM offense starts to click, though. Isaiah Smith bounces it to the outside and has some daylight around the sideline. He bursts for a 45-yard gain inside the Stars' 25-yard line to end the third quarter. And after they change ends, Smith fights his way into the end zone to score. The PAT ties the game at 10-10 early in the fourth. Midway through the quarter, another Knights drive ends in a Smith touchdown, and they take the lead for the first time 17-10. And in the last minute, Danielle Carter comes up with a big interception to seal the win. At 6th seed, Benilde knocks off 3rd seed Holy Angels in the Section 5-4A quarterfinals. They get Providence Academy in the semifinals Saturday. The Red Knights play at 2nd seed Providence on Saturday night. Park Center, Osseo, Brooklyn Center all eliminated in the first round of the football playoffs on Tuesday night. The road to the XL Energy Center started for some teams on Tuesday in the state volleyball tournament coming up next month. Armstrong at home to face Bloomington Kennedy in the 6-3A first round match. Audrey Schumacher to Riley Fry, Sophie Vogel there for the kill. Armstrong up 5-1 in the first set. Brianna Mayer's tough serve leads to an overpass. Kaya Durant with the kill. Falcons taking control of this match early. Rachel Yugestad gets a chance to swing from the left side. She puts it away, and they roll to a win in the first set, 25-11 over Kennedy. Second set, Fry sets to Bogle. The Eagles' dig comes right to Fry. She'll hammer it for the point for Armstrong. Schumacher's tough serve leads to an overpass, and Durant is ready at the net to score for the Falcons as they again take control of this set. Second set a little more competitive, but it's Armstrong breezing to the 3-set win in this one, and they'll play Minneapolis Southwest in the quarterfinals on Thursday. That's all for sports. Shannon, back to you.
All right, thanks, John. In Local Vote 2018, we shift our focus to Brooklyn Park for the rest of the week. We begin with who is running for City Council. In the East District, voters will choose between Marta Yakovleva and incumbent Terry Parks, who opted to record a candidate statement.
My name is Terry Parks. For the past 4 years, I have had the absolute honor of representing you in Brooklyn Park's East District. Through the policies we've implemented, our crime is at a 32-year low. We've added 4,000 new jobs. We've added new companies such as Olympus, Worth Adams, and Hy-Vee, just to mention a few. We continue to change our image, which is helping in gaining new residents and new businesses. I'm proud of being part of giving our youth and seniors more of a voice. I've spent my entire adult life volunteering, including my time in the United States Navy Seabees, and dedicated the last 37 years volunteering in many capacities within our community here in Brooklyn Park. I would appreciate the honor to continue serving as your councilman in the East District. You can contact me at electparks.org. Thank you and God bless.
Up next, the power of flowers, the giveaway that allowed others a surprise. We'll be right back. Finally, if you were out and about at the shops at Arbor Lakes on Wednesday morning, you probably noticed people handing out free bouquets of flowers. It's all part of a national holiday celebrated by flower shops called Petal It Forward. Len Bush Roses, based in Plymouth, took part. It has done so for the past 5 years. They hand out 2 free bouquets of flowers to anyone who will take them. That person then has an obligation to give their second bouquet to another person. The national event was created by the Society of American Florists.
Wanting to bring awareness to the power of flowers and how it can affect our moods, how flowers can actually create in somebody emotions, good emotion, positive emotions. Don't think flowers could ever create a poor emotion.
Len Bush Roses handed out 40 bouquets of flowers, and they even sent some back to us, and they were orange, which was the perfect color for today. That's all the news we have for now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here again on Thursday starting at 4 o'clock.